Hello, brave art students. I'm sitting outside in my yard. I'm on my patio, enjoying a beautiful morning out here. And I'm starting off this week outside because our assignment this week is going to take us outside. We're going to make an artwork that uses materials from nature this week, like things like sticks and stones, leaves, flowers, bark, anything you might find around your yard, things you might find by taking a walk through your neighborhood or taking a walk in the woods, something like that. So I'm going to show you some samples of projects that I've made using these materials. I'm going to show you some videos about a principle of design called balance and how artists use balance in their artwork. We're going to talk particularly, there's many kinds of balance in art. The kind of balance we're going to talk about is radial symmetry and radial balance. And we're also going to take a look at understanding art worlds. I'm going to teach you a little bit about the artwork one kind of artwork that comes from the Buddhist tradition. And Buddhism is a religion that was started in India many, many years ago. And many religions use art to express their religious beliefs and their religious ideas. And in Buddhism, there's a kind of artwork called a mandala. A mandala design expresses certain ideas that are very important to the Buddhist religion. So we're going to learn a little bit about that. And we're going to make our own mandala designs that are made from materials in nature. So take a look at the videos. There'll be lots of questions, as usual, about them. And they'll give you a lot of ideas for how you may want to make your own mandala design from things found in nature. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to show you is the sample mandala that I made from things found in nature. And I'm just going to take a quick peek at that so that you have some idea of where we're headed with this project, and you can kind of think about it a little bit as you watch the rest of the videos. So here we go. So this is the mandala that I made, and I'm going to pull back just a little bit. There we go. Maybe you can see it better. It's made completely from things that I found in my yard. And so for this project, that's what we're going to try to do. Find things that you have, or go for a walk and collect things from outside and see how you might be able to arrange them using radial symmetry into a mandala design. I'm back in my studio, and we're going to take a look now at radial symmetry and what that means. And we're going to also take a look at some artwork that has examples of radial symmetry, which is very similar to the way the design was laid out in the example that you just saw. Back to our chart here with the elements of art, and then just real quick review. We've done line, we've done shape, we've done color, we've done value, and we've talked about form as well. We're going to save texture and space for right now. I'm going to turn over the card to the principles of design. And on this part, these principles, we've talked about contrast, we've talked about pattern, we've talked a little bit about unity, making things look and feel like they all go together. And in this lesson, for this assignment, we're going to talk a lot about balance. And balance is the overall feeling that everything sort of is comfortably arranged in the artwork. And there are many, many different kinds of balance. We are going to talk about radial balance and radial symmetry. This is a very, very simple example of radial symmetry. It's a design that radiates outward from a center point. So I have a dime in the center, and my 4 popsicle sticks radiate outward from the center. Here's another example. I'm using my popsicle sticks still, making the design a little more complex. And because I get ideas as I go along, I find new things to add and make the radial design even more complicated and more interesting, I hope, to look at. And this is my final design. Now, it radiates out from the center in many different ways and uses a lot of different materials. I was careful about the materials I chose. I wanted things that had good contrast with my black background and things that would stand out. So none of my objects are very dark. Um, this is also an example of a mandala design. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a few examples of other artworks that use radial symmetry and radial balance. So let's take a look. I've got a lot of things here for you on my table. This is the beginning of a student drawing of a mandala design. It's not finished, but you can see how they've used lines to kind of organize their space, and they're going to build their design out from this. This is another student example using this leaf design radiates out from the center. It has symmetry all around, radiating out from a center point. This is an idea for a tile design, and this is a tile that was finished. It doesn't have complete radial symmetry as we've been talking about, but the center part does. These leaves in the center radiate outwards, and this kind of continues that idea. And it does have a lot of symmetry and is very well balanced as well. Now, here's another mandala design this was a sample that I drew a long time ago. Again, radiating outward from the center. A very complex example. This is just a dish that I found in my kitchen, and you can see from the very middle there's a little center point, and the entire design is complex and works out from that middle point. This is another trivet, something you would put hot pots on or hot dishes on. Again, radiating out from the center point. So these designs tend to be circular. They can also have a diamond shape or a square shape, but they're often circular. And let's see what else I've got here. Here is a mandala painting that a student did. I'm going to pull my camera up a little bit so you can see it better. And then I had some examples from a quilt book that I had, because quilters also use this technique for balance and organizing their visual ideas. There's a nice star design that radiates outward from the center. Let's see what else I have here. This is called Trip Around the World. It's a traditional quilt pattern. Radiates outward. This is more of a diamond pattern. The other was more of a star. And this is another example of radial symmetry. Okay, so I think you have the idea. And when we talk about our mandalas, we're going to continue to use radial symmetry. This is a mandala, very traditional mandala from the Buddhist religion.